Love isn't always a fairy tale. It can be a battlefield of emotions, filled with unexpected twists and heart-wrenching decisions. When Logan and Miranda's perfect life begins to crack under the weight of career struggles and financial uncertainty, they find solace in an unlikely companion, a rescued dog named Chance. But what starts as a source of comfort soon becomes a wedge between them. Logan begins to feel like an outsider in his own marriage, watching as Miranda's attention shifts away from him. Is it just stress, or is something deeper at play? Tensions rise, jealousy festers, and unspoken fears threaten to unravel everything they built together. One night, a shocking event pushes their relationship to the breaking point, forcing them to confront the painful truth neither of them wants to face. Will their love survive the storm, or will it crumble under the weight of unspoken words and unhealed wounds? Stay with us to find out how this emotional roller coaster unfolds, and don't forget to subscribe. Love, they say, is as unpredictable as the winds that sweep through a bustling city on a cold winter night. For some, it's merely a spark of chemistry, a fleeting reaction of hormones and chance encounters. For others, it's a carefully choreographed dance of habits and compromises. But for Logan and Miranda, love was a living, breathing force that evolved with every trial, burst of laughter, and unexpected twist. Their journey began on a crisp autumn evening in Chicago, a city whose sleepless streets were as full of stories as they were of dreams. Logan was a pragmatic marketing consultant who had recently moved to the city in search of fresh opportunities. Known for his dry humor and an almost clinical approach to life, he never allowed himself to be swept away by sentimentality. In his eyes, relationships were built on shared interests and practical benefits rather than the wild, uncharted territory of emotions. Miranda, on the other hand, was an aspiring writer and painter with a soul attuned to the subtle beauties of everyday life. Her heart found magic in the way light danced on rain-soaked sidewalks and in the quiet moments spent watching the world go by. Their first meeting was as unexpected as it was unforgettable. It happened during an art and literature fusion event held in a renovated warehouse in downtown Chicago. Amid the murmur of cultured conversation and the soft strains of a live jazz band, Logan's gaze landed on Miranda. Seated quietly in a cozy corner of the gallery, she was completely absorbed by a painting that portrayed the interplay of light and darkness. There was something in the way she observed the canvas, an intensity that made even the most abstract strokes seem to tell a secret story. Unable to resist, Logan approached her. With a hesitant smile, he said, "You see the world as if every moment is a masterpiece waiting to be discovered." Miranda's eyes twinkled in amusement, and a gentle smile spread across her face. That small, sincere compliment ignited a conversation that flowed effortlessly into the night. In the weeks that followed, Logan and Miranda found themselves drawn together by the magnetism of their contrasting worlds. Their dates ranged from quiet afternoons in quirky coffee shops in the West Loop to spontaneous walks along the Chicago River, where the city's reflections in the water mirrored the spark between them. Logan's grounded, methodical approach complemented Miranda's free-spirited nature perfectly. While he was fascinated by her imaginative outlook on life, she cherished the stability he brought into a world that sometimes felt chaotic. Their connection deepened with each shared secret, every burst of laughter, and even in the comfortable silences where nothing needed to be said. After a year of laughter, shared dreams, and tender moments, the couple decided it was time to make their union official. Their wedding was an intimate affair, a simple ceremony held in a rustic, refurbished mansion on the outskirts of the city. There were no ostentatious displays or extravagant celebrations, just two hearts promising to stand by each other through every twist and turn that life might offer. The early years of marriage were filled with the glow of new beginnings as they navigated life hand in hand, cherishing every small victory and comforting each other in moments of doubt. Yet, as time often proves, even the most deeply rooted love can be tested by life's unforeseen challenges. Not long after their nuptials, Logan's once thriving career encountered a harsh downturn. A sudden economic slump led to massive layoffs in his company, and he found himself grappling with insecurity and the crushing weight of uncertainty. At the same time, Miranda, determined to support their modest household, turned her creative energy toward freelance writing and art projects. The couple's daily life, once filled with carefree adventures, gradually transformed into a struggle to balance hope with hardship. It was during one of these particularly difficult winters that Miranda encountered a turning point. One icy afternoon, while returning from a writing assignment, she noticed a scruffy, trembling dog huddled in the doorway of a closed shelter. The animal, a golden retriever mix with soulful eyes and an air of quiet desperation, seemed to be calling out for help. Unable to ignore the silent plea, Miranda brought the dog home. She named him Chance, believing that sometimes life offers unexpected blessings in the guise of those we least expect. At first, Chance's arrival seemed like a beacon of light in the dark days that followed. His playful antics and boundless affection brought moments of relief and genuine joy to a household beset by financial strain and emotional stress. Logan, though initially indifferent, couldn't help but be won over by the pup's exuberance. Evenings that might have otherwise been filled with worry turned into opportunities for laughter as Chance bounded around the apartment, his tail wagging like a metronome of hope. However, as weeks turned into months, the dynamics of their home began to shift subtly. Miranda's bond with Chance deepened into something that felt, to Logan, a little too intimate. There were mornings when he would wake to find Miranda cradling the dog as if he were a living, breathing confidant, someone who listened without judgment and offered comfort without complaint. At first, Logan dismissed these feelings as the inevitable product of stress and fatigue. Yet, gradually, a seed of jealousy took root in his heart. Every tender moment Miranda shared with Chance became a painful reminder of the emotional distance that had begun to creep between him and his wife. The turning point came one rainy evening when the city was wrapped in a mist of melancholy. Logan returned home earlier than usual and found Miranda seated on the living room sofa, her head resting gently on Chance's soft fur. The scene, lit by the warm glow of a nearby lamp, was meant to be comforting, but to Logan, it was a silent testament to all that was slipping away. The intimacy shared between Miranda and the dog stirred in him a deep sense of exclusion and hurt. That night, the space between them seemed to widen with every unspoken word, every glance that betrayed a hidden sadness. Unable to contain his turmoil any longer, Logan attempted to broach the subject. In halting, emotional words, he expressed his confusion and the sting of jealousy that had taken hold. Miranda, with tears glistening in her eyes, explained that her attachment to Chance was born from a longing for unconditional love, a love that was hard to come by during the long, lonely hours of their financial and emotional crisis. She confessed that, in those moments, Chance's silent companionship offered a balm for her aching heart. Logan's own heart ached at her words. He realized that his mounting insecurities had blinded him to the fact that their love was not a finite resource to be guarded jealously, but a resilient bond that could be nurtured even through the pain of misunderstanding. Determined to salvage the connection that had defined their early romance, Logan resolved to reclaim the intimacy that had once come so naturally. He began by stepping out into the world once again, attending art exhibits, joining community events, and even exploring new professional avenues that ignited a spark of creativity within him. Slowly, he rediscovered parts of himself that had lain dormant under the weight of self-doubt. At the same time, Miranda took conscious steps to voice her needs and to help Logan understand that her love for Chance was never a replacement for him but a manifestation of her own vulnerability and need for comfort. Their journey toward healing was neither immediate nor without setbacks. There were bitter arguments on sleepless nights, long days punctuated by regretful silences, and moments when both wondered if the bond they once cherished was beyond repair. Yet, with time and mutual effort, they learned to rebuild trust, relearning the language of love that had once brought them together. They began instituting new rituals, weekly date nights, early morning walks along the lakefront, and evenings spent on the back porch sharing their hopes and fears under a canopy of stars. As the seasons changed and the city around them transformed, so too did Logan and Miranda. The trials they had endured became chapters in their shared history, a testament to the resilience of a love that was willing to evolve and adapt. Chance, once the unexpected catalyst for jealousy, grew to be a beloved member of the family, a living reminder that even in the midst of struggle, unexpected joys can emerge. His presence no longer divided them. Instead, it helped them appreciate the small, everyday moments that truly defined their life together. Years later, now in their early 40s, Logan and Miranda found themselves in a place of quiet contentment. Their home, filled with relics of the past and the gentle hum of everyday life, was a sanctuary built on mutual respect and understanding. They still debated over the best slice of deep dish pizza, laughed at the quirky commercials on late-night TV, and playfully bickered over forgotten details like who was to pick up the groceries. Their love, far from the fairy tale ideal, was a tapestry woven with threads of perseverance, compromise, and the relentless pursuit of connection. One cool autumn evening, as golden leaves danced around the porch and the city lights twinkled in the distance, Miranda turned to Logan and softly asked, "Do you remember when it all began? When you told me I saw the world as if every moment were a hidden masterpiece." Logan's eyes shone with nostalgia and renewed hope. "I remember every detail," he replied, "and I remember promising myself that no matter how dark the nights became, I would never let go." In that tender, quiet moment, as the gentle murmur of the wind harmonized with the distant sounds of the city, they embraced, reaffirming a commitment that had been tested by time and tempered by life's storms. Over the years, their relationship had grown into a resilient force, one that wasn't defined by perfection or grand gestures, but by the small acts of love that carried them through the toughest times. Logan continued to rediscover his creative spirit through new challenges at work and by reconnecting with old passions, while Miranda embraced her writing with renewed vigor, drawing strength from the shared memories of their early days. Together, they navigated the delicate balance between independence and intimacy, learning that true love was not about clinging to an ideal but about evolving together through every hardship. As they sat together on that familiar porch, the cool night air filled with memories of laughter, tears, and whispered dreams, Logan and Miranda knew that their love story was far from over. It was a journey of constant rediscovery, a delicate dance of giving and receiving, of fighting for connection and forgiving the inevitable missteps along the way. Their hearts, once raw and vulnerable, had grown stronger through every trial, bound together by the shared promise of a brighter tomorrow. In the end, their story was not defined by the moments of despair or jealousy that had threatened to tear them apart, but by the courage to confront their own shortcomings and the determination to rebuild what was once nearly lost. It was a story of everyday triumphs, a testament to the idea that love, in all its messy, complicated glory, is a journey worth taking, even when the path is shrouded in uncertainty. Under the vast, starry sky of a city that had witnessed both their joy and their pain, Logan and Miranda continued their journey together, hand in hand, hearts entwined by memories of laughter, lessons learned through hardship, and the unwavering hope that every new day would bring them closer. Their love was an ever-evolving masterpiece, one that would continue to be painted with the bold colors of courage, compassion, and the simple, enduring magic of shared moments.